Hi, what's up? Hello, long time no see. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya and I make book content and I talk about books basically. Sorry for being absent for quite a long time. And we still need to talk about last year. So, what we're gonna talk about today is all the books I read last year. I have my tea, I have my blanket, and I have a tier maker. I don't know what to call this exactly, but be aware that last year, would I say that it was a good year reading wise? Not exactly. I only read 16 books in a whole year, which is, it's not even 2 books per month. It's not a lot of books if you think about it. But I am, first of all, still in university. Second of all, traveling a lot. Third of all, I am just now getting back into reading, which means that the number of books I read per year is gonna increase with each year. At least that's what I hope for. But so far, 2024, we are able to achieve that goal. I already read 3 books this year, and it's not even February yet. So, we're getting better somehow. 16 books in the year of 2023. We're gonna rank them all right now. So I'm just gonna minimize right now and I'm gonna take you with me to the tier maker that I have created here, and I'm just gonna start ranking all the books that I have read in the year of 2023. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Tiers that I have created are Spectacular Breathtaking, which is basically a book that grabbed me by the throat, threw me across the room, or I threw it across the room because of some things that happened in it, and that I just adored and loved with all my heart. I See You Girl. It's like it's like a book that I appreciate and that I liked, but it wasn't just it wasn't absolutely breathtaking, show-stopping, never ever been done before. Okay, it's like, okay, you get my point. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's like, okay, man, it's like, it's not essentially bad, but either didn't live up to my expectations, or it was just pretty meh. It's just like, I don't even remember what this book was about, and then not for me. It's just a book that I just personally didn't enjoy at all. I don't even know if there's gonna be a book like that in here. Oh yeah, actually there is gonna be now that I look at it. But oh yeah, by the way, I have not ranked them beforehand. This is my first time going into this, so I just put the files in, so we're just gonna do it blindly. This is my honest reaction. By the way, those books aren't in order. They aren't how I chronologically read them in 2023. It's just a random order. So yeah, first book on here though is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And Harry Potter books are very hard for me to rank because they just hold a very special place in my heart. By the way, this is my first time reading this because I've never read the entire story of Harry Potter. I watched the movies a million times and I can recite them on the spot, but I never actually read the books. So yeah, this is my first time reading them, but still I am just so connected to those characters that it's just so hard sometimes to objectively rank those books. So this is why it's hard, but nevertheless it wasn't my favorite in the saga, so I'm just gonna give it I See You Girl. It's not spectacular, it's not grabbing my throat, but it's also hard for me to objectively rank those books, so hence I See You Girl tier. Then we have A Darker Shade of Magic by Victoria Schwab, and hands down, no cop, no hesitation, I'm gonna give it Spectacular Breathtaking, absolutely show-stopping, amazing, never ever been done before, because the way I love this book so much. I love Lila Bard so much. I love Kel. I love the entire premise of this book, and I love how it was written, and just I want to finish this trilogy, I think, so badly, but I just don't have those books right now. one day I want to finish this series so much, if I ever get my hands on the next copies. If you don't know, it's a fantasy book following Lila Bart and Kel, and basically has a very unique magic system, and it's set in London, or London's plural, but it's very good. It's very good. If you haven't read it yet, please read it and let me know what you think. The next book that I have here is the story of Hong Gil-dong, which is a classic Korean tale that I read for class. It's a very short story, and it's a very specific one, so I'm just gonna give it okay, because it's hard to rank as well, because it was written such a long time ago, and it was translated and translated probably again and then again and rewritten, and I don't even know, but it was okay. Like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't good. The ending of this book was like, I wouldn't even call it a book, I would call it like a short story, actually, because it's just so short. It's like a Robin Hood but Korean, basically, plus he has some powers. This book was funny sometimes though, so yeah, I'm just gonna give it okay. It was okay. It wasn't me. It was okay. I remember this book. I remember what it was about. It was okay. Nothing spectacular though. Then we have The Puppy War by R.F. Kuang. And this may be a little controversial, but I'm gonna give it to I See Your Girl. I'm not gonna give it spectacular breathtaking, just because I didn't fully click with this book. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like the pacing or just not the right time for it. I don't know, but I don't really feel that connected to it. So I don't know what to do about that fact, because I have 2 more books from this series sitting on my shelf, and I need you guys to convince me that I should read them, because I don't know how to do it. Because I don't feel connected to this story, and I don't know if I should finish it, but I know it's apparently so good, so I don't know what to do. I just have to push myself to do it. So yeah, the next book that I have is Wicked King, which is the sequel to The Cruel Prince. The thing is, I remember loving this book when I was reading it, but I don't remember much from it now, and that is problematic. So I feel like if I reread it right now, I would probably give it spectacular breathtaking, but because I don't really remember it that much, I'm gonna give it to I See You Girl. Just because whenever I annotated this book a little bit, whenever I open it and I read a quote or I remember a moment specifically, I'm like, oh, this was such a good read, but then I'm like, right now I don't remember what happened in this book. So I'm like, oh, I mean, I remember some parts, but it's not like very vivid in my head. So that's why I'm not giving it spectacular breathtaking. But I really wanna. I haven't read the Queen of Nothing yet, and I really want to. So, but I don't own it. So that's probably that's the reason why I haven't read it yet. Yeah. The next book that I have is 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. This is a book that I read for the challenge where you guys pick a book from me from the poll on Instagram, and I'm gonna give it 2 okay. Just because I feel like at the beginning of it, I didn't like the writing, then I kind of got used to the writing, but then I still... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it to I See a Girl. Just because now that I think about this book, I like it more than I did when I read it. I don't know. I think about the character and what happened in this book, and I actually really like the premise of the story. And I got slightly emotional at the end, so that's why I'm gonna give it to I See a Girl. Even though when I was reading it, I didn't really feel like that, but now, actually, yeah. The next book that I have here is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is the sequel to Legendborn. I loved Legendborn so much. I gave it, if I could, I would give it 1,000,000 out of 5 stars. However, Bloodmarked, I, for some reason, had such huge expectations for this book. And I'm like, not completely satisfied with it. So that's why I'm gonna give it to okay. because I remember some parts of it, but I feel like I was so confused when I was reading this book. I was like, what is going on? I was like, what is actually happening? So that was why it was so. I feel so bad because of it, because I know this book is wildly popular. Maybe if I gave it a read, maybe I'm just too stupid for it. I don't know, but I wish I could give it a higher rating, but I can't, because I just remember being so frustrated when I was reading this book because I loved Legendborn. However, I'm waiting for the third, I think. Is it gonna be the final part? I don't know, but I'm waiting for the next book in the saga because I still love Bree a lot. And I love those characters. And I really want to get back into the story. Whenever I think about it, I just feel so connected to them. See? I feel connected to them, and that's what I don't feel with the Poppy War. I don't know why. Why am I not connected to that story? Lord tell me. The next one, we have the Atlas 6. Actually, another a little controversial move on my part, and that's gonna be an ode. Not that bad. Meh. It was a little too much for me. It was like, first of all, what is this book actually about? Second of all, why is everyone flirting with everyone? Third of all, I was like not liking anything about this book apart from Libby and the main guy's, don't even remember his name, chemistry. That was the only thing that I actually liked in this book, because they were like academic rivals, but then like sort of friends, sort of not, sort of enemies. It was actually very fun, but then the rest of this book is like meh. It was okay. Will I read the next two books? Probably yes, if I ever get my hands on them, but I'm not like desperate to finish the series. I don't have high expectations, but maybe that's a good thing. Whenever I go into a book without high expectations, I always end up liking more. That's the way to go. The next one we have is The Isles of the Gods. I think that was a title by Amy Kaufman. I'm gonna give it a meh, just because there's no connection to the story whatsoever. I don't even remember half of it. I remember the main character and the main love interest and sort of the magic system, and there's a ship and they are going somewhere to make an offering or something. I don't even remember this book, and that's problematic because I wanted to love it so badly because it felt like I could love it, but I just didn't. And I don't know what to do with that. I feel so bad because of that. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a series. Will I continue on with it? Probably yes. However, expectations not that high. The same thing as with the Atlas 6. Love Life Farms. I read this, I think it was the last book that I read in 2023. I read it during Christmas. It was a Christmas romance, very fluffy, very fun, very funny, and just very witty, and I loved it. And I'm gonna give it I See a Girl, just because not exactly that 5-star rating, but it made me feel so much stuff, and it made me feel so comforted and so comfortable and just so happy that I love that book so much. There's a reading vlog dedicated to it and to another book from this patch here. If you haven't seen it, please see it. I love that vlog so much. It's so cozy and it has the best Christmas winter vibes. I love it. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail on this book because I feel like I talked about it already so much. Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung. It's a collection of short stories by a Korean author. I met Bora Chung and I loved her, and I love this book so much. I mean, will I give it I See a Girl? No, I will give it okay. I feel like there should be another tier between I See a Girl and okay, where I would place this Cursed Bunny book, but there isn't one, obviously. So I'm just gonna give it to okay because I feel like it's still a little bit closer to okay than to I See a Girl. But I did enjoy this book a lot. It was very gruesome, it was very creepy and very disgusting at times. but still, it was a very fun read. Like, I had fun reading it. So that's why I'm giving it okay rather than meh. But then it wasn't like life changing, so I'm not giving it I See a Girl as well. It's not like I constantly think about this book. You know what I mean? So yeah. The next book I have is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. This one is also featured in the vlog that I read Love Life Farms in during Christmas. I'm giving it spectacular, breathtaking, absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite books from last year. I loved it so much. I feel so connected to that story and to those characters, and I love it so much. If you haven't read Belladonna, please do. The second book is out. It's called Foxglove, and the third book is coming out in August, so that's why I'm not picking up Foxglove yet, because I know I will not be able to finish to wait for Wisteria, which is the third book, so long. But please read Belladonna, and please watch the vlog where I read it. I think I actually cried at this book, and I have like half of it annotated, so it was so good. The next one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Actually, this book is I started my channel with this book, I think, last year. It was in my first vlog ever, and I think I gave it 4.5 stars or even 5 stars when I read it, and I remember really liking it. But the thing is, it's not a book that's like returning to my memory all the time. It's not like a book that's sitting in my mind constantly. I read it in May, I think, last year, and I wouldn't say I forgot about it, but like on some level I did. I just don't think about it that often. So I feel kind of sad. I feel like I should give it a reread, because I really enjoyed this book when I read it. But for now, I'm gonna give it to I See You Girl / spectacular, breathtaking, because I really liked it, and I really liked the premise of it and the story that was there. But I just can't, for the love of me, remember half of the things that happened in this book. But I remember my love for it. Red Queen, which is also another book that I read in May. I remember really liking it. But then there's like a blank. There's blank here. Hi, Nico. If you saw the dog, that was the dog. There's blank here. There's nothing here about this book, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I wanna read the whole series of this, because I really enjoyed it. But then, like, what was this book about? Like, what happened? I feel like if I picked up the sequel, I would probably remember the things that happened in the first one. But for now, like, I'm gonna give it to okay. Because it was fun, but it wasn't, like, amazing. You know what I mean? So, okay, it was fun. It was okay. You've reached some. We have reached the point where I put a book in the not for me tier. I had such high hopes for this book. I was like, I'm gonna stop. It's gonna be so sad. I'm gonna cry. I was mostly annoyed. This book was just so annoying. I didn't like the writing style. I'm not saying it's a bad book. It was just not for me. It's a YA romance. Did I even talk about what those books are about? I didn't think so. Sorry about that, but this one is a YA. Would we call it a romance? It's not exactly a romance. It's just like a contemporary book about grief, but it's written in such a manner that just pissed me off for some reason. It was just like, I understand it, but like the main character was so stupid that I was like, girl, you know? So that's why it's not for me. I don't want to waste my energy talking about this book anymore, but yeah. And the last one that I have here is The Prayer of the Orange Tree. Absolutely amazing. I love this book. So I think if I had to choose between the first 3 books in the series, in the top tier, I think I would go for The Prayer of the Orange Tree, just because it's like on a whole another level than any of these books here for me. It's just so amazing. Samantha Shannon, you are unreal. This book is unreal, and I loved it so much, and I want to reread it, and I want to reread it, and I want to reread it again, and I want to annotate the whole thing, and I want it like engraved in my brain forever. I want to take it to my deathbed. I want to be buried with my copy of this book. And I want to read the sequel slash prequel to this book, but the paperback isn't out yet, or it just came out. So, and I own the first one in paperback, and I don't want to buy it in a different format. So please, God, get me the paperback faster so that I can read the prequel. On the other hand, I really don't want to read the prequel, because then I'll be done. It's gonna be the end of this world, of this series of I don't know what I would do with myself. So now I'm just sort of like stuck between wanting to read this book and then really not wanting to read this book until Samantha Shannon promises me that she's gonna write another one. So yeah, those are all the 16 books that I read in the year of 2023, ranked from best to worst, sort of. Overall, I feel like I did have a good reading year in terms of quality, not exactly in terms of quantity, but we are working on that. We're gonna change that this year, but quality definitely up there. Yet again, I'm sorry for not posting any videos for the last 2 weeks, but my mind was just elsewhere, because I am in the middle of an exam season. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you have read any of those books, please let me know what you thought of them down below. I would like to chat about them with you. For now, that's all I have, and I will see you very, very soon in another one. Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep reading. Bye!